Hello, if you're watching, I will be making some soap. That's what I'm getting ready to do. Had to change my gloves. The other ones were too little. Got my inspirational music playing in the background. Okie dokie. Ooh, beautiful day out. Hopefully you guys got a chance to get out today and didn't have to spend the whole day inside. Okay, I don't know why that took me so long to get on. So I am trying a new formula today. So I needed to get my recipe because I'm using oils that I haven't really used before. And I finally was able to get some shea butter. I had gotten some, well, I have a local supplier of shea butter that I usually use. And because of COVID, they've been closed. And they just opened not too long ago, so I'm very, very happy. But, wait, is this the one I wanted to use? Alright, so we need oops. Alrighty, so I'm measuring out my lye. Oop. Okay, so let's just scoop some of this back out. That is just going to move that. Cool. Alright. Made a mistake and changed the mode. Let's tear that. Okie doke. Greetings. If this is your first time watching soap being made from scratch, I did good. Type a 1 in the comments. Hey, Camilla. Avopo, I'm not sure. if I'm pronouncing that name right. But greetings. Thank you for watching me. Alright, so that's done. We are going to mix our lye. Turn on my fan. Yeah, so if this is your first time watching anybody ever make soap from scratch, type of one in the comments. Greetings. So right now I am mixing my lye. I've already weighed out my oils. They're right here. And this is a brand new recipe. So I got my recipe over there on my tablet. I'm using different oils. I finally was able to get to my local shea butter supplier. I was supposed to be bringing back some shea butter from Ghana, but COVID kind of messed up my last week of plans. So I didn't really go anywhere in that last week being in Ghana. I kind of was just on the compound where I was staying. Yeah, so last minute things that I was supposed to be getting I wasn't able to get, but it's okay. So because of COVID, the local supplier that I usually go to get, he hadn't been opened, and then they opened today and they didn't really have the type of shea butter that I usually get. I usually get the white shea butter, but they only had the yellow. They had the white one, but it was already whipped, and I don't like that because I like to get bulk, and I want to do it myself. But they only had the yellow one, so I've heard so many stories about how they get it to be yellow. So I had to trust the man who wasn't the man that's usually there. It's usually a different man that's in the store. This man I didn't really know. So the guy that I usually see wasn't there. But this guy, I can only assume that he's, being honest and telling me the truth. But according to him, he said it's just turmeric. In the processing, they add turmeric to the shea butter, and that's how they get it yellow. I saw some information saying that they add a root. I forget the name of the root. Bukulu tutu, something like that. Anyway, some African root. It's a root that they find, on the continent in Meditown, and they add that root to the processing, and that is how they get the yellow color. So, but this brother was saying that they added turmeric. So, and I have the yellow shea butter instead of the white, and that's already been added in here. Now this is my, as you can see, all mixed up. And this is the fragrance that I'm making of this soap is Patchouli Rose. So I want to do part of this one color and part, okay, let's put this here, another color. So I'm going to use this gold right here. I have this. I need my colorant. Okay. Oh, it's right in front of me. Oh boy. Not good, not good. Alright, so one part of this is going to be like a light brown, and another part is going to be greetings. Palm oil. No, it's not the palm oil. They use a shea nut butter to make shea butter. It's not palm oil. They use the palm nut to make palm oil. But I've heard that too. I've heard that sometimes they use palm oil and they add some palm oil into the shea butter. I've heard that. I've heard so many different things. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really like to get the yellow. But according to this brother, he's saying that the suppliers add turmeric. So I don't know. Greetings, random. Meniz Yehuda. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of colorant because I want this to be, part of it is going to be brown, another part of it is going to be pink, a light brown and a light pink. So I'm adding the white to my base because then I'll be starting with a white base, and when I add the colorant, it'll give more of a pastel-y looking color. And yeah, so this is going to be Patchouli Rose. That is the scent that I will be using. So it's going to be a nice light cocoa and a nice light pink. Now, I'm also going to be using, I got new molds. They're actually smaller than the molds that I usually use. So, I probably have to use 2. I'm not sure. But yes, I'm going to be using my new molds. Ooh, I'm all excited. All right, so, and guess what else I got? I'm not using it today, but I got a new stick blender. Oh, shh, don't say anything. Yes, soap makers get blenders, and we get excited when we get new things. But I actually got it because this one is loosening it's really shaky, and I'm thinking at some point it'll probably break. So I'm just preparing myself so that I'm not out of commission when it does go awry. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like this wobble, and there's a wobble here where it connects. It doesn't fit on very tightly. It's like it can come off easily, and then there's this wobble. So I know I'm going to be needing a new one soon anyway, so it's not wasteful spending. It's just thinking ahead so that when this does conk out, I'm ready. And I'm not out of commission for a minute while I get another one. Especially if I'm right in the middle of making soap. That would not be good. Nope, nope, nope. Not at all. I don't know where that blew in from. Okay, so I'm blending this. There's nothing in it. Just to break up the shea butter and to mix the oils that I have. In here. And of course to mix up the titanium dioxide that I added. So I guess I should be doing this with the other hand so that I'm not in your way, blocking your view. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So no live water is added just yet. You know what? I'm going to move these out of the way. Move these over here. I don't need this because I'm done with that part. Put this over here. Get that out of the way. So I'm contemplating whether I'm going to do brown, white, and pink. I'm not sure yet. I'm contemplating. All right, so I'm ready to add my lye. This is the lye water that you make. And greetings, Brian. Thanks for watching. And this is the blend of oils, also known as your fatty acids. All right, so mix your lye water in. Nice and slow. You don't want any splashing. But as you can see, I'm wearing my gloves just in case. And I'm wearing protective eyewear as well. Okay, I can put that up there. I want to give this a zap. Alrighty. Now, because of the titanium dioxide, it's going to be a little bit hard for me to tell when this has reached emulsification, because we definitely want it to be emulsified, but we don't want it to go too far into the trace process, but I don't want it separating. I do want it to be well incorporated. All right. Just want to make sure it's not separating, and I got a light trace here actually, which is good. So I'm going to separate this into, I think I'm going to do a little white. It's going to be some brown, some pink, and, oh, let's open this tissue. Oops. Okay. Some brown, some white. So I'm going to put the white in here. This is going to stay white. So I'm not going to really do anything with that. That might be a little bit too much. I really don't want that much white. I want some brown and some pink. And I want it to be kind of even in a little bit even as far as how much. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I want that much white. Anyway, I'll leave it. We're going to add the color first. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown to one. This is cocoa powder. And I think I might have put a bit much. We'll find out later. And I want just a little bit of red. Is this orange or red? Yeah, I can't tell. Yeah, this is the red. Oops. I didn't want too much. I want a light pink. Let's do the red first. You always, when you're using the same spatula, oops, getting thick already. You want to go from the lightest color to the darkest color. And I think I can add a bit more red in here because, as you can see, you can barely see the color. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit more. So I want it to be a nice pink. I think that will do it. I think that will do it. No, I might have to add a little bit more. Yeah, so I am listening to one of my favorite comb music tapes. That's my inspirational music of the gods of the comb from Ghana, West Africa. But of course, this was made here. So I'm just adding a little bit at a time just until I get to the darkness that I want. And as you can see, that's not that dark. And I want a nice rosy pink. I don't want it too pale. I don't want it too dark either. And I hope that wasn't too much. You know how it's never getting what you want, and then when you put extra, you find out, man, too much. I should have just kept adding little at a time. You can always add more, but you can't take it out once it's in there. So when you're not measuring out color that you already know works, do it little at a time. Or I should say the amount of color that you know works already. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit more because that's a pale pink, which is okay. But I want a little bit richer pink. And then I'm going to mix the brown. And I didn't add the fragrance just yet. Oh yeah, it does look nice. It is a very satisfying feeling It's like it's nice, it's smooth, it's creamy. It's a nice consistency of this batter. Okay, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more because I still want a little bit more color. And that is definitely going to be it. Okay, so we put that color back. And then we're going to have the other one, which is going to be brown. And I'm sure I'm not going to need to do anything to the brown. I should be able to leave it with that colorant, that amount of cocoa. It's actually cocoa powder that I'm using to make that color. Okay, so I'm going to use the same spatula because this is a darker color, so it should be okay. Uh-oh. And look at that. It's not mixed very well, so actually I'm going to come back over here a little bit more and scrape the sides and get the bottom and make sure it's mixed in well. All right. Whoa, this got thick just by sitting here. Okay, now I was working with that one, so it stayed thin. And this was just sitting and getting thick, so I'm assuming that that white is probably nice and thick as well. Now, thing about that powder, I may have to put a little bit of tap with the blender just to make sure you can see some little chunks, just to make sure it's incorporated well. I don't want bits and pieces of chunks of colorant floating around. And while that one was done in a liquid form, this was all powder, so I may have to snap it a little bit with the blender just to make sure. I think I'm going to add a little bit more color because it's really light. I don't want it too dark. Uh-oh. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to snap this with the zip it a little bit with the blender just to make sure that this is not lumpy and it's not bits of powder, lumps of powder inside here that's not mixed in good, because you don't want that to happen. You want it all to be mixed in good. Okay, this is a nice color. Yep, just what I like. I don't know if you can see how nice and brown that is. It's nice cocoa color. Well, not really cocoa. It's lighter than cocoa. Maybe a nice milk chocolate. I wonder if I'll be able to get these out without zipping it with the stick blender. I don't want to give that a chance. I think I'm going to have to give it a little bit of a stick blender, just a little bit, because I don't want it thickening any more. It's nice and thick. I don't want it any thicker, really. I just want to make sure that that color is good, blended good. All right, oops, I just knocked stuff over. Oh dear. All right, I'll get that later. Don't have time to clean that mess up. Oh, that was not nice. Okay. Just splashed some soap and it went on me. Get that off. All right, so we got everything mixed nicely. a nice little milk chocolate brown. And then the white, I'm going to keep white. I think I'm going to get something else to mix the white. Use my other spatula. Check, because I know, yep, see it got a little thick just by sitting there. But we're going to take and just mix it a little. Now, we still haven't added the fragrance. Now, I'm hoping that the fragrance does not cause any type of acceleration. Now, this is actually a fragrance I mixed together myself. So, whether or not it causes acceleration, we won't know because I've never tried it before. So, we're going to put most in here. Most in here and just a tad bit in there. Ah, and this is Patchouli Rose. Really nice fragrance. Love, love, love it. And it doesn't look like it's going to accelerate at all, which is a good thing. I'm hoping it stays that way. We will see when we get to the other ones. Okay, now we're going to mix the white in. And once again, it looks like it's holding in its consistency. It's not accelerating on me, yay. This is somewhat of a new scent. I've worked with patchouli. I've worked with rose. But I've never added them together to make patchouli rose. Well, actually, no, I did. I used patchouli rose once. I've used this fragrance before. But I haven't used it with this recipe, of course, because this is a little bit changed. I don't usually work with palm oil, and this recipe has palm oil in it. Yes, it does. Oh, wait, no. We want to keep that clean for the white. This should not mess up the color of the pink at all. Should be fine. Use this right here. I think I should have put more of the scent in here than in that white. That's okay. All right, so it looks like it's holding up good as far as acceleration. It's not happening. Oh, my music's gone. My inspiration has ceased. Let's put some on again. Clean up that mess. Almost time for the mold, guys. Alrighty, since I'm working with two new molds, and these molds are actually a little different, so I'm going to be pouring half in one, half in the other. And hoping that I can get it even in my pour. Can you guys see? Oh, yes, okay. Okay, so the line right down the middle. Put another line right down the middle. Try to get these even. And that music is supposed to be playing. I don't know why it's not. And this is a nice consistency, so it should not really mix that much, which is good because it allows for a nice drop swirl. Without too much mixing. Okay. And as you can see, I'm already making a humongous mess. Okay. That is okay. Now I'm dropping this from high because this I want to kind of mix in now. When you drop it from high, it allows it to kind of go all the way to the bottom and allows it to mix better. So we're going to drop it from up high. So now it can start to mix. Or alrighty. Whoops. As you can see, I am making a bit of a mess. But that's okay. And where is my music? I know I pressed play. Give me 1 second. Let me check my music. Oh. Let me clear my... Okay. Let's not sing that song. No. Alrighty, I don't know what's going on with my inspirational music, but oh wait, we're up to the pink. Okay. Oh, there we go. Alright, time to scrape now. So we're gonna take and kind of scrape the sides of our bowl, our pitchers. Get every last bit of that soap batter out of there. Alrighty, so I am using my new mold today. So the soaps are gonna, because it's still just one batch, my normal size batch. So these soaps are gonna be shaped a little bit different, because as you can see, they're gonna be shorter. So it'll probably be shaped more like a square by the time I cut them, so that they'll have a good size to them. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's not do that there. Do that on the floor. Okay. This cleans off. Might have to get something to hold that. Alright, so now we're just going to texture the top. Not like that design, so I think I'm going to do something a little different. Just cut this off a little bit, so I can use this side, and then we'll see if we can Okay, well, I think I'm going to leave that, because a lot of times when you overdo it, you just get something worse. Okay, that's not bad actually. It's not too bad. That's a nice top. So, thank you guys for watching. You can come back and watch me when I'm cutting it. Have a nice time. Thank you for watching.